Have you ever wondered how contractors are making so much money crushing concrete and other materials? Well, in this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know, including how concrete is recycled, the benefits and uses of recycled concrete, how to start and grow a concrete crushing business, and how much to charge for your services, and more. Before we begin, we'd like to quickly thank our sponsor, Heavy Ape. Want to win more jobs with your crushing business? You want to learn how to build a construction business that generates millions per year? Visit heavyape.com. Now back to the video. What is concrete crushing and why is it in high demand? Concrete crushing is the process of breaking down large chunks of concrete into smaller, more manageable pieces. This usually involves using specialized machinery to reduce the size of the concrete before it can be reused or recycled. The end result of concrete crushing is a material that can be used as a base for construction projects such as driveways, foundations, roads, and more. In recent years, there's been an increased demand for recycled materials in construction projects due to environmental concerns. As a result, businesses that offer concrete crushing services are becoming increasingly popular as they provide an environmentally friendly way to reduce waste while also saving money on construction projects. Additionally, the use of recycled materials helps reduce reliance on raw materials like virgin aggregate, which can help conserve natural resources and reduce pollution. How concrete is recycled? As the most widely used construction material in the world, concrete has a major impact on the environment. Every year, billions of tons of concrete are produced and much of it ends up in landfills. However, concrete can actually be recycled and reused. Here's how the process works. First, broken or leftover concrete is collected from construction sites. This material is then crushed into small pieces, which is known as aggregate. The aggregate's then mixed with a binding agent and water to create new concrete. The great thing about recycling concrete is that it requires far less energy than producing new concrete from scratch. If you choose to start a concrete crushing business, you'll not only be making it easier for new projects to take place, but you'll also be starting an eco-friendly and highly profitable endeavor. Benefits of recycling concrete. Most people are familiar with the benefits of recycling paper, plastic, and metal. However, fewer people are aware of the benefits of recycling concrete. Concrete's one of the most widely used construction materials in the world. Every year, billions of tons of concrete are poured and produced, and even more is sent to landfills when buildings are demolished. However, concrete can be recycled and reused in many different ways. Recycling concrete can reduce disposal costs for businesses while also freeing up much-needed landfill space. It can reduce or completely eliminate transportation costs and lower the aggregate material cost on construction sites. It results in lower energy cost and an overall benefit for the environment. Again, there's not as much of a demand for virgin materials to be mined when you already have the recycled material ready to go. Uses for recycled concrete. Your potential market. Recycled concrete can be used in a number of different ways, and there's a growing market for this versatile material. For example, recycled concrete can be used as aggregate in new concrete mixes, as fill for excavations, or as road base. In addition, recycled concrete can be used to create pavers, tiles, and other decorative features. As the demand for sustainable building materials increases, the market for recycled concrete will only grow. If you're thinking about starting a concrete crushing business, one of the best things you can do is research your local market for crushed concrete. What sorts of construction companies are in your area? What industrial complexes? Do your research to identify this target market ahead of time so you can start making connections before you have the crushed material ready to go. Tips for starting your concrete crushing business. If you're interested in starting your own concrete crushing business, there's a few things you need to know. Find the right piece of land. Before you can begin to crush concrete, you'll first need to find the right piece of land. The ideal spot for a concrete crushing business is 5 to 10 acres in size and should have a trailer, a small building, or some other type of shelter to store your equipment and materials. You'll also need to check with your local zoning regulation and make sure there's no restrictions on setting up a concrete crushing business in your area. Once you found the perfect spot, be sure to install a perimeter fence to keep unwanted visitors out. Purchase your equipment. Before you can begin processing concrete, you'll have to invest in the proper equipment. A concrete saw will be necessary for cutting large chunks of concrete into smaller pieces, and a rock crusher will be required to further reduce the material into reusable form. Now, this is perhaps the most important piece of equipment you'll have to rent or buy. And guess what? We've got a video dedicated entirely to the best concrete saws. We'll put the link in the description below for you. You'll also have to purchase a dump truck for transporting concrete to your recycling facility. In addition, you might want to consider investing in a pulverizer or shear to size the concrete, as well as scalping screens and conveyors to remove fines and efficiently stockpile the material. Water trailers can also be useful for dust suppression during processing. Or consider renting instead. When you need to crush large volumes of concrete, it can be tempting to buy all of your own crushing equipment. However, there are several advantages to renting concrete crushing equipment instead. First off, crushers are expensive and require a substantial capital investment. It's unlikely you'll have the necessary capital to pay for all of this out of pocket, so you may need to apply for a bank loan or a line of credit instead. That can be difficult for some people, especially those who are new to the industry. Additionally, crushers are very heavy and require a dedicated workspace with plenty of room for the machine and stockpiles. Crushers also require support equipment like dozers or excavators to feed them and carry away the crushed material. And finally, operating and maintaining a crusher can be costly in terms of both time and money. If you don't have the personnel to run the machine for X number of hours to recoup your cost, it might not be worth the cost of purchasing a brand new machine. Well, do you like what you see so far? We'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you'll know whenever we drop a new video. Now, let's get back to the video. Consider investing in a mobile crusher. Another consideration you'll need to make in regard to equipment is whether you want to invest in a mobile crusher. How does mobile crushing work? Mobile crushers are usually operated by one person and can crush up to several tons of material per hour. They're typically used for recycling concrete and asphalt, but can also be used for processing other material like stone, glass, and metals. There's many brands and models of mobile crushers on the market, so it's important to do your research before you choose one that's right for your business. Carefully consider the financial aspects of buying or renting a mobile crusher before you commit to this kind of machinery. That's important to consider regardless of whether you buy or rent. You'll need to have lots of material to crush on site to justify the expense. Some people argue that having a mobile crusher on site is not worth the expense unless there's many thousands of tons of material to work with. Ultimately, it comes down to how much you'll use the equipment and if you can keep it busy. If you have a steady supply of concrete and asphalt to process, investing in a mobile crusher can be a wise decision. Get a business license. Before you can start your concrete crushing business, you'll have to obtain a business license. You'll also need a license for handling and disposing of hazardous material. In addition, you'll need to purchase insurance for your business. Network with local contractors and demolition specialists. Networking with local contractors and demolition specialists is a great way to get your concrete crushing business off the ground. By telling each one your price and timeline for crushed concrete and other material, you can gauge whether or not there's a market for your service. This will help them budget for the project and will also give you an idea of what your market rate is. Additionally, checking with local road builders to announce your business as a source of recycled concrete is another great way to get started. This will help generate more interest in your services and will also provide you with a steadier stream of customers. By providing them with a reliable source of high-quality crushed concrete, you can establish yourself as a valuable partner in their construction projects. Create clear contracts. Before starting a concrete crushing business, it's important to create clear contracts with all parties involved. That way, there's a clear understanding of the scope of work, mobilization, cost, material, and site prep, and how to deal with uncrushables. It's also important to decide who keeps the steel, who provides the support equipment, and what the daily rate versus the per-ton rate would be. What happens with uncrushable debris and oversized pieces must also be addressed in the contract. One solution can be that oversized pieces are set aside to be pre-processed later or hauled off as is. The contract should also specify what size rebar should be used. Typically, long strands of rebar get caught up and interrupt your crushing operation, and who's responsible for cutting rebar. There may be other stipulations you want to include in your contract as well, but the most important thing is to have a clear contract that outlines everything you and your customers find important. By taking these steps up front, you'll be setting your business up for success from day one. Make sure you're following safety regulations. When you're ready to start a concrete crushing business, there's some things you need to do to make sure you're following all the safety regulations. First, you need to make sure you're registered with proper authorities and have all necessary licenses. Purchase the right insurance policy to protect your business and your employees. Finally, you need to develop a safety plan that outlines how you'll manage risk and keep your employees safe. By taking these steps, you can help ensure that your business is in compliance with all safety regulations and your employees are protected in case of an accident. How much money can you make crushing concrete? When it comes to making money by crushing concrete, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. The amount of money you can make depends on several factors such as the size of the job and the cost of the material used in the process. Generally speaking, most companies charge by the ton for crushed material, so the more material you process, the more profit potential there is for your business. The typical ton of crushed concrete sells for around $6 to $14 per ton. Additionally, if you're able to find jobs that require more specialized services like sorting through different types of material or providing custom solutions for clients, then your income potential could increase even further. Before we get to the final part of the video, we're going to give you a 25% coupon code to the Heavy Ape course. Just enter ENC, spell it out, EANDC, when you're checking out. Also, Heavy Ape's offering a free kit for winning more construction jobs. That link can be found in the description below. Here's some tips for growing your concrete crushing business. In addition to having access to quality material and equipment, here's several tips that can help increase your income potential when it comes to crushing concrete and other materials. Develop relationships with local contractors who have access to large quantities of material. This can help ensure steady sources of income. Make sure that your pricing structure is competitive. Always compare prices with other providers in your area. Invest in high-efficiency equipment. This can help reduce cost while increasing profit. Keep track of customer feedback. This helps ensure customer satisfaction, which leads to more repeat customers and higher profits over time. A concrete crushing business is one that requires a fair amount of capital and legwork to start up. But with patience and due diligence, it can be scaled to a highly profitable business that sustains you for years to come. Can you expand your business to crush other material? A concrete crushing business typically handles concrete and asphalt, but other materials like brick, stone, and even metal can be crushed. If you have the right equipment and are able to handle the other materials, you may be able to expand your business. One advantage of crushing other material is it might provide a new revenue stream. Another advantage is you may be able to dispose of the crushed material in an environmentally responsible way or even recycle it. For example, many landfills will not accept brick or stone, but they may accept crushed brick or stone as long as it meets a certain size requirement. As you consider whether to expand your business to include other materials, research the market for the material you want to crush, as well as any regulation that's applied to its disposal. With the right preparation, you may be able to successfully expand your concrete crushing business to include other materials. Well, that's all we have for now, and be sure and subscribe so you'll be notified whenever we release a new video guide.